How's it going, guys? Welcome to episode 6 of Comic Crunch. As always, with me is Mr. Lou Rod. How's it going, Lou?
Going good, going good. Enjoying this Friday evening.
Yes, and yeah, just to let you guys know, if you want to follow Lou, thank you for putting it up at Mr. underscore Rod underscore. Right there. So at least I don't, just because we've had issues with Twitter trying to find that up and all that crazy jazz. But welcome to episode 6. Yeah, so let's get the show on the road. It's going to be a little shorter show today, but just covering some news, starting off the show format. So always we do some news, and then we go into our TV shows that we watch. Now, there is a new show, which is Jessica Jones. We haven't finished the whole thing. Probably Monday we'll do like a full like Jessica Jones like review for you guys. I'm hoping I can finish it by Monday.
I'll finish it by tomorrow.
Oh, excuse me. But let's start off with just some of the news here that we have so far.
Do we have any?
Yeah, not much. I mean, there's really not much in terms of, I mean, I'm just looking. CW's DC Legends of Tomorrow will premiere January 21st.
Okay, so
Yeah.
that's going to be the actual date.
That's going to be the actual date for the show. There's a lot of Star Wars little tidbit news here and there. Mark Hamill's talking about a very big secret, of course, that he's, he can't talk about. He also talks about how there's a generational shift. We know that, as you can see, they are younger characters who are eventually going to, I mean, put it this way. We all know, I mean, if you forget the theory of, it's, what's his name? Lou Boyga's character dying, according to somebody over there.
I'm not the only one. It's going around the internet.
Okay, forget that part for a second. But basically, he's Luke, she's Leia, the new versions, right? And then the guy who's the pilot, forgotten his name again.
Poe?
Poe?
Oscar Isaac?
Oscar Isaac, yeah. Oscar Isaac is the new Han Solo. That's just pretty much it. Let's just call it what it is. That's how it's going to move forward. And Kylo Ren is the new Doctor.
He's the Han Solo of the X-Wing fighters.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta change it up a little, I guess. I mean, I don't know. And anything else this week that caught your attention? Because news-wise, I don't think there's much.
Honestly, no. I mean, the only thing that was earlier today that Miss Marvel was supposed to be in Jessica Jones, but they cut her out.
Yeah, because they haven't cast anyone yet, and they still don't know what they're doing with that.
Well, maybe they already casted her, and they just don't want to let no one know.
Okay, true. Probably on that part. A couple of like little things there. I just seen here, Colt Haynes is returning to Arrow.
But who cares?
No, but seriously, I'd rather him take over as Speedy than the sister.
But he's not coming back to play Speedy. Yeah. He's probably coming back for one episode just to say, "Hi, Thea. I approve of your boyfriend. Now I'm leaving again."
Yeah, I know. Some other news on Justice League Dark looks like it's moving forward. That's probably the biggest news this week. There's some casting choices there. There's also a bunch of directors. If I can just go back to that news story. So Ben Mendelsohn is being eyed as the villain in Justice League Dark. Some of the casting choices, they said they're looking for either a biracial or Latino to play Zatanna.
Yeah. They're eyeing Ron Perlman as the Swamp Thing,
which they said WB is cool with, and I'm cool with too. Ron Perlman, anything is fine with me. I don't care.
And Colin Farrell as John Constantine.
Yes, exactly. I mean, I think Colin Farrell can do it. I mean, I do like the guy from the TV show, but it's two different universes, so
Yeah, so it is what it is there.
It doesn't matter, but it's surprising that that's picking up some steam. I think they're trying to use that as to say it's almost doing the same thing as Marvel with a TV show, that there is another world side of things in the DC universe that the big guys don't have to deal with, with the supernatural stuff.
At least Marvel has theirs all connected. DC doesn't even want to connect the universe, which is fine because hey. They feel that those actors might not transition well over onto the big screen. Sometimes they don't.
But also, again, to me, I look at it, it keeps them away from having tied storylines like how Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. suffered. You don't have to deal with that crap. You can just continue your story whichever way you want. And and TV audience is not the movie audience. Movie audience is much bigger, especially on a global scale compared to a TV show. So you don't.
The WB is going to learn their lesson if Stephen Amell knocks it out as Casey Jones in the new Ninja Turtles movie.
Yeah, but I don't think that would affect it though. I don't think that will affect the case, because I think what it is that even though he may knock it out, I think he's going to do a good job. I think on that part he will. But when you look at the way they set the world up, especially when you have Batman and Superman, when you have those juggernauts set up, you don't care about the smaller actors. You care about that universe. So that's why I don't think it's going to play either way. Because most audiences around the world will go, that's a TV show, that's a movie, and it's different. And as long as since they're clearly putting it that way, I'm fine with it. If they start dabbling, the only way you save it is when you do Flash, multiple Earths. That's the only way you can go and say that is going to work. But that's like down in the future.
Yeah, but they'll probably use Ezra Miller as the bridge of gaps.
Yeah, exactly. He would run into the other Flash and be like, wow, man, your costume sucks.
Well, I am on a TV budget to your movie star budget.
Yeah. So,
the only other news was the fact that the executive, one of those producers over at Marvel TV is saying Iron Fist is still on the table.
Yeah, whatever, man. We'll see that when it comes.
Thank you. But other than that,
yeah, we'll see. We'll see when that shows up. That's all I gotta say about that one. All right, let's move on to TV shows.
Let's go.
All right, first up, starting with the first show of the week, Sunday, Walking Dead.
Yep.
What do you think of the episode?
I enjoyed it. We were introduced to Dwight and his wife. For people who don't know, he plays a decent role in the comics as one of Negan's right-hand man. He was normal looking now, but probably the next time we see him, he'll have an iron face.
Wait, Dwight is
the guy who stole Daryl's crossbow and motorcycle.
Okay, yeah, my bad. Sorry, for some reason I don't even know why that slipped my mind. I just forgot his name.
Well, but they never said his name.
Oh yeah, okay, thank you.
They never said his name, and they never really referred to his wife's name. They always kept saying Patty and the other girl who passed away in the show's name.
Yeah.
So, but it was let out that this week that was our Dwight.
Okay.
By the AMC reps, and it kind of makes sense because Daryl's a made-up character.
Yeah.
Dwight in the comic books is kind of like Daryl with the crossbow and leather vest type thing.
Okay.
So now we see how Dwight gets his crossbow as far as the TV show. He steals it from Daryl.
Basically snaps it. Oh, by the way, guys, if you want to jump in, use the chat link and jump right in. So you can send questions, comments, whatever the case may be. But anyway, sorry, go ahead.
So that's where that's going. And I saw something earlier. I didn't click the link, but the Jeffrey Dean Morgan is his name, I believe.
Oh, yes, Jeffrey Dean Morgan is going to be Negan.
He dropped a little hint saying we might see him a lot earlier than we're expecting in the final episode. Maybe we see him in the mid-season finale.
I think we will. I think we will see him, but it's just more of like an alluding to what's going to come.
Yeah, but we definitely will see him in the season finale.
Yes. Yeah. He's not going to be a character for this season. He's pretty much next season.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
He was basically him, Dwight, the girl from Nurse Jackie, Zoe.
Yeah.
They play more roles leading into season 7.
Yeah, true. So it'll be interesting to see how all that plays out. I liked the episode. It was slow at first, but then you realize what they were trying to set up. Now, I didn't know that was Dwight, but I had a feeling like he was going to come back in chorus with those characters again. Like something was up with that. And especially, running through that little town area and then you're just shooting at them. I'm like, is this, I was like, who are these people? Are they attached to the guys with the W's on their head? What's going on with that? So I wasn't sure, but I was like, this is important. It wouldn't take time in the TV show not to build this up, this importance up.
Yeah, I believe those people were the saviors. They're not the wolves. That's a part of Negan's group, and Negan's group was known as the saviors.
I see. And the wolves are you know what? David spoiled it for me. It's okay, man. Stop.
The wolves are just for the people who followed the comics. They changed it a little bit, but the wolves were just a ragtag bunch of idiots that all got killed within 5 minutes.
Okay. All right. So not that important. Not that important.
They weren't an important piece of anything.
Okay.
Like they changed it. If my assumption is correct, they changed it a little bit by them actually making it into the city and killing some people. But in the comic, they got to the gate, and 5 minutes later, they were all dead.
Okay. All right. Makes sense. But it was a good episode. Also, it's good to see. Oh God, you see, I can forget the character's name. The guy with the stash.
Oh, you mean Abraham, aka Duke Nukem?
Yes, exactly. I should have said that. So it was good to see. It was good to see Duke get out of his stupid funk that he was going through. It was good to see her get out of her funk. And then
he was funny.
Yeah, but it was good to see all that like interaction and seeing that maybe something's about to happen with both of them. So that was, I mean, like I said, it was a slower episode, but it was more of a nice build up because you can't always have a rush with episodes like that. So I like that about the episode in general.
Like I said, it was an entertaining episode, and how I explained it to one of my buddies earlier, you got to look at the episode in the aspect of all this is taking place within one whole day.
Yeah.
So he was like, it didn't feel right. Well, dude, look at it like this. It's been one whole day. Glenn is missing. It's only really been one full day, maybe two tops.
Mm-hmm.
So just go with it that way.
Yeah. All right. Let's move on to Monday's show, which would be Supergirl. Right?
Yeah, how was that day?
Supergirl was also, it felt funny because of the placement. Again, they switched episodes too.
Which I personally think is stupid.
They switched episodes because of the bomb tragedies that happened in Paris. I don't think it's stupid. I think more or less that they were just too concerned, because I would love to see an episode where she was trying to save the day from stuff like that. Because it actually shows, portraying more courage and putting a more, I won't say positive spin, but at least giving people hope, more or less.
I get it. Look, it was a tragedy. But when you start switching things around, you're feeding into the BS that they created. Yeah, that's my take on it. I mean, yeah, they gave us an episode that we were supposed to get this week, so it would have tied in better this week, but I kind of get it. A few shows have done that, but they shouldn't feed into the bullshit.
Well, I mean, yeah, I understandably so, but the episode itself, you could feel it was a little misplaced because of, besides that aspect, it gave us some more backstory, at least some more the part I liked about the episode was, Dean Cain coming in as a dad, working with the DEA, and now going, okay, fine. I wanted to see that other, more investigative side. I'm not saying that, Supergirl's not investigative, but at least you can't always just trust everyone, right? So I like that aspect that, the DEO, I think that's the name of the agency.
Yeah,
DOE, I think.
DOE or DOA, something like that.
We all know that guy's an alien of some sort, right? And
he has to be.
Yeah, exactly. So finding, not having now this other backstory is something that I think will lead a long way. And we'll probably find out that he's not even dead. Dean Cain's character, the dad, most likely, he's probably trapped somewhere, running experiments for them or whatever the case may be, on that aspect. The one thing that I found a little inconsistent was when the DOA came in and said they were going to take her away. They wanted to take her away. And I'm like, if you just yelled, Superman, they're taking your cousin, he would probably hear from wherever it is and just come over.
Yes, I agree, but they don't want to go the Superman route.
I know.
I
That's
honestly think last week's episode was the last time we're going to be referencing Superman.
No, we will. They said we will see Superman in the show. So I think what it is more an episode where it's a passing of the torch, not like a full passing of the torch where he's like, I really, or more or less like he says, I need you for something. Like I'm going somewhere, and please take care of Metropolis and Nationals, that kind of thing. Where it feels like he's like, all right, here.
And as much as I'm starting to enjoy some of this, they need to stop treating her like some kind of baby. Talk about she's going to die. Nothing on this planet can kill her.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing though. They flirt with those things, and I'm going, she really can't die. I understand you want to make it seem like you're not as strong as Superman, right? In the show. But even still, she really cannot die. I mean, there's really nothing.
If Superman is at 100% his strength, Kara at best is at 80. You ain't killing her.
Exactly. So it was one of those things where I hear you with that part where it's like, come on, guys, it really makes no sense.
Livewire Livewire was cool, but it kind of gave me the reference of that movie, The Shocker.
Yeah, I remember that. I mean, Livewire. I like the fact that Livewire kind of just. I mean, she just went in and it wasn't like she went through the process of like, oh, I'm gonna learn my powers. I mean, like we've all watched comic books and read comic books and watched shows that she was like, look, I can make electric whips, whatever. I'm just gonna do it. I liked at least that aspect that she wasn't just the dumb. She wasn't a dumb villain, right? She was zapping here and there, going through circuits and knowing that, look, if you can't catch me, you can't beat me, right?
She used her whips better than the Iron Man 2 villain.
Yeah, definitely so. It was so I would say the episode was good. Nothing crazy. I think also because it was out of place, even it kind of affected the episode a little bit more for me. But we learned some things from there. So
yeah, she knew how to fight better.
Yeah, so it was definitely much better. Next show is Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., right?
Yeah, we could do that one first.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Yeah, remember how we talked about Coulson, not trusting? Yeah, we all know Coulson was not going to trust her. There was no way. And rightfully so. Hydra, again. I mean, at least this time, I do like the Hydra tie-in more. It feels like it's more effective this time.
But is it a Hydra tie-in? Is Gideon really working with Hydra, or is he part of some other organization that's playing both fields?
Is he an Inhuman, actually? Is trying to bring his master back.
Oh, I didn't think about that.
See, that's why I said it. And I think the reason why is because this is my point. Hydra storyline will never continue in the movies, right? It's just never going to go that way. So
I hope not.
So why not just explore a different angle in the TV show, which makes more sense, where you can keep it contained, you can do more things. And again, it's not like it's a big, massive Hydra. Hydra is much more smaller with these two guys.
Just like S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah, exactly. So it's now contained more, it's a better intensified storyline. And then the connection to Inhumans, you're going, like you said, it could be another organization, or he could be an Inhuman. And he's a resourceful human being. He himself may not know how to open it up, but he's like, all right, we need to because our master was banished, so we need to find a way to bring him back. So, I mean, I liked the episode. I thought it was a very good episode.
Episode was great because even Rosalind was getting played and she didn't even know it.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, it was good all around episode for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I liked the pacing. The one thing I didn't like though is a couple of action stars that I've seen in other movies, and I see them in smaller roles, and I just I'm not like I get pissed, but I'm like, you got what's his name? The Asian guy.
Talking about the Iron Chef host.
Iron Chef host, who he's been in some action movies. Also, one of
his powers were weird.
Yeah, I mean, he had telekinesis.
Is that what you think it was? More of a telekinesis?
Yes, more telekinesis, which is why he didn't throw everything in the room at her. I was wondering why. I mean, fine, she took away your guns. I'll just pick up everything and just toss it.
And when I heard he was casted, I was wondering what he would do, but I was told it would have been a little bit better than this.
Yeah, I mean, I expect him to just toss stuff. Just
I
continue.
mean, he is a recurring character, so he will be
Yeah.
back.
The other character that also was, the guards, the three guards that they sent over to kill, what's his name from the former Shield agent. The first one on the father's left is a really good martial artist. He was in the second Matrix movie, and you know that scene where the three agents come in and Neo blocks everything with one hand when he basically punches him, does a couple of kicks, and he does a one-hand block, and Neo goes, upgrades. I forgot the actor's name, but that's. I mean, he was in that movie. He was also in Keanu Reeves' last action movie,
John Wick.
John Wick. He was the guy that beat the crap out of him in John Wick. There's only one dude who beat the crap out of him. I just can't remember what his character didn't have a name in there, but he's a very good martial artist. So when I saw him in just that small role, I was like, these guys are much better. But hey,
They gotta sell him short.
yeah, it is what it is. But again, like I said, it was definitely a good show. We'll move on to Flash. This episode was a little interesting. It felt a little off to me, I think, just because, maybe just because I didn't expect Barry to sink so low, so fast. But then again, when they keep showing the flashback of the ass whooping, I was like, all right,
It makes sense.
all right, maybe that's the case.
I mean,
sorry, go ahead.
that ass whooping really traumatized him. He couldn't walk straight.
Yeah, I mean,
He couldn't run for a while.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it felt good to have the other characters play more of have more dynamics to themselves. Because honestly, if Barry's always running and saving the day, they're useless.
Yeah. I mean,
I enjoyed the episode. I wasn't too happy with the look of Gorilla Grodd. I think they had a better looking one last year.
but I thought it was all right. I mean,
It was all right, but they probably saved some of that money because they wanted to throw in that gorgeous looking Gorilla City.
Yes. But the thing about it too is if you think about the way what do you call it again? Gorilla Grodd from last season, he had a specific shot. It wasn't like he was moving around too much. We didn't see his whole body, so you can spend a lot of time just doing this kind of detail. So let's see that. I liked that fact that Cisco had a date, and even though he was kind of shocked he kissed Hawk Girl, and he was like, oh, I'll go with it. I was happy that Cisco. I mean, because Cisco is the one he brings the fun to the show.
He brings the 80s references. He brought in the Grape Ape.
Yeah, so it was good. It was good for me to see Cisco have some fun, except his fun is going to be spoiled when he's revealed that she's Hawk Girl and Hawkman's going to come, and that's all over.
Well, that's in 2 weeks.
So yeah, all his dreams of having breakfast and stuff ain't going to happen.
Well, maybe they had some rooftop fun.
Yeah, maybe on that part. But it was a good. Like I say, it was a good episode. I just was kind of like, yo, Barry, man, come on, you're the Flash. But then again, each time I was thinking that, the flashbacks would come up, and I'll be like, all right, never mind, it's okay, it's cool. I feel you. So that was a good episode. Next one, of course, is the Arrow, which I was a little disappointed with Diggle in the episode because Diggle had this very extreme dual mindset to me, in the sense that after you've been through 3 seasons or how many years with these dudes, right? You've seen Sarah, bring the sister back. All of her sisters come back. Your own team is not filled with perfect guys. We all know that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you're now saying that your brother does not need redemption either. I'm like, really? So only your family is that godly enough that you want to put up there? I was like, come on. To me, it was a little bit too rigid. But then when he confronted his brother, I understand him breaking down. It was like trying to find out. But you were right there when, what's his name? Damien Dark gives everybody pills and they all become zombies. So if your brother is taking these pills over time, what do you expect?
Do they take it over time, or do they take it just once?
Whatever the case may be, as long as he's there under his influence constantly.
I mean, the episode. I felt the episode was okay. I'm gonna say it again. It seems to be every godforsaken year they love to shoot these flipping arrows into the sky with nothing there and take off. Like they're Superman or Batman. It's like, where are you aiming these arrows? And then you guys are just like swinging up on them. Like, what the f? There's nothing there.
Well,
Last year he took off to the moon.
well,
this year him and Thea shoot their arrows in opposite directions and they just take off. Like, dude, there's nothing there. Where are you going?
Let's just skip that part. We all know that they're doing a little Batman slide. Let's just let that slide away.
But at least Batman shoots it at something and you see it hit.
We don't need to see it hit. And Starling City is not like Gotham where there's a lot of skyscrapers. There are very few, so let's just call it what it is. Just
even got long ass trees.
Let's just skip that. And just let it be. Let's let it be.
Oh man, it's like the fight scenes were really good this week.
Yeah, they were much better. Much better fight scenes. Better. I mean, it was good. It was a good show. Overall, I liked the way Damon Dark comes in because he's doing like really what Damon Dark is, right? Is Ra's al Ghul. Let's be honest. The proper version of Ra's al Ghul that they should have brought. That's just really it.
Okay, I have a question for you. What happened to him when he touched Thea?
Oh, simple.
Is that the effect of the pit?
Yeah, he's dead. Thea is from the dead. He can take life. He can't take life from someone who already died. Let's just call it what that's the only way you want to translate it. Because when he does his thing, when he taps, you can take life from somebody who has life. But this is somebody who's on borrowed life. Or you can say because the pit necessarily doesn't. It brings you back from the dead, but it's a weird thing. It's not necessarily just straightforward like you have life. So
Damien Dark is like a dead figure.
Yeah. Okay,
that makes sense.
So that's why I say that. To me, the way they use his character is the proper version of Ra's al Ghul. You come in, it's fine. You want him to be in the show. So he comes in and, he's trying to politicize with, the Arrow, right? I mean, sorry, with Oliver, right? And, he's trying to do the open, in the daylight gesture, but he's, of course, running stuff in the background. And he has all these minions who remember, his minions don't serve like the League of Shadows where you just swear an oath and then you obey. He has to control them, but it's still the same thing. Like, it's the same thing, just a better version from what they did last year. Yeah, because if you think about everything he's done is what should have happened last year, but they just effed it up.
If they wanted to use Ra's al Ghul, they should have maybe used him as a series finale villain.
Oh yeah, I mean that's what it should have been, but again they mess it up. But in terms, if you go back to this episode, I mean they did good work in telling some of the backstory and leading, because the backstory is going to lead us to Damon Dark's power. That's what the backstory is for. The flashbacks, and then because I think that's what they're working up to is that we will get to a point where we know the source of his power. And that also brings us back with Constantine all over again.
I hope they bring him back.
I think they will because they haven't finished shooting all the episodes for the season anyway.
No.
So
not on that show.
Bringing him early is a way to gauge, did we do more? Now fans were all excited about it. They liked it. They wanted him back. They left it very vague. He can definitely come back. And again, someone like Damon Dark, you need some magic to either counteract, whether it's he comes back to him and he gives him something that says, look, okay, if I'm going to tattoo this thing on you, this will negate every single thing he does, or this will help you negate it, right? And then you can fight him one-on-one type of thing. So I think that's where you see that balance from. But it was an okay episode. I know they needed some Diggle time, to at least showcase that. Although that his Magneto helmet, it's actually more plastic than helmet. It's got no back cover. It's really weird. It's really weird when you realize it's more plastic.
Dude, that helmet is that welder helmet that they use.
Oh man, no, the welder helmet would be better. because at least it's metal, right? This is like a Magneto helmet with no back cover, and then it's soft too, which is why people can punch him in the face. And it's like, come on.
And then he has a gadget gun.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean,
who designed that thing?
I don't know. I have no idea. Anyway, Heroes. I didn't watch Heroes. I didn't watch.
Well, it was the mid-season finale or winter finale, however you want to call it.
Oh, the finale.
It was I liked the episode. Erica is an evil person. Her colors are starting to show more and more.
Mm-hmm.
They went to the future. If you watched last week's, then you know what future I'm talking about.
Oh, I haven't watched. I tried. I was going to watch 2, but then I got busy this week. I was like, all right, you can take that. You can handle that. I still need to deal with Jessica Jones, which you're coming to next after this.
Well, now that it's on vacation, you can catch up for it when it comes back in January.
Yeah.
But they went to the future. She showed them around. The few people that got sent there, they built a little colony. They're getting it all set up. Katana Girl is back.
Of course, I mean, she's in the main posters for the season, so yeah.
Well, she's back. She actually ended up in the future somehow. And then at the end, the boy Nathan and Katana Girl travel back in time. And back in time, the other granddaughter, I don't remember her name, is taking down some massive storm. And Noah disappears because Noah gets the grandson teleports him somewhere.
Okay.
So that's the cliffhanger.
All right. So, but the episode was good. In your opinion?
Was a good. I enjoyed it for being a mid-season finale. It leaves you on a cliffhanger, so you have to wait to see what happens.
Okay.
And to me, that's what a mid-season finale should do: leave you with that good cliffhanger.
All right. Cool. I can't say much about it. I will watch it, but I can't say much. Let's see. We have a comment here from 3Borrow22. He says, I'm watching Jessica Jones right now, which we're about to talk about. So Marvel's latest show on Netflix is here, Jessica Jones. You've watched 3 episodes, right? I believe.
2.5.
2.5.
The third one.
I'm 4.5 episodes in, but we'll just cover the first 2 per se. The first thing I'll tell you, my opinion of Jessica Jones. At the very first 30 minutes, I was unsure, but I started understanding the style of what they were trying to do. They kind of threw you into Jessica Jones, her own little madness. You walk into this woman who's an alcoholic. Let's just call it what she is. She's an alcoholic. She's also a professional. She's a PI, but a professional stalker. Because from the get-go, she's stalking Luke Cage. She's stalking her brother up. She's like, I want some of that. So already from the get-go, she's doing that. But then you understand some of her madness. And the one thing I do like is how they've created the mystique of Kilgrave, or Purple Man. It's the name of the comic book. Is even though technically, compared to other people who have telepathic powers, he's not as strong as Professor X or something. And he's not a telepath. He's just he's a suggestive. Let me see. 3Birds22 said he's on episode 7. Man, you go, man. Kilgrave is not a telepath. He can't read your mind. He can only tell you what to do. He's a suggestive.
But that's just as dangerous.
It's just as dangerous, right? It's just as dangerous. But they did such a good job in creating this mystique about him. Before you even see him, you're already afraid of this character.
Yeah, that they did well.
They did a good job at that. Now, I don't know if
where I left off is Luke Cage and Jessica Jones are going at it like bunny rabbits.
Oh yeah, okay. That's the other thing. There's going to be a lot of that in the show. There's gonna be a lot of that in the show. I mean
the shit was funny. At the end of episode 2, he puts the little electric chainsaw to his little self, and she gets turned off by that shit.
Well, I mean, in her mind, she's probably going, man, anytime I have sex, it's just difficult. And then she's like, oh, wait a minute. Oh yeah.
Oh
And trust
Lord.
me, you're going to see more of that. More and more episodes. They just continue the bunny habit behavior in funny ways. They're funny ways. Funny things happen. I'm not going to spoil it per se, but you see more of that in there.
Well, shit, they jumped into giving Luke Cage his powers too.
Yeah, they really jumped into Luke Cage, which makes me believe that Luke Cage's own series will have a lot of flashbacks in between. So we might be jumping in and out. I'm just guessing because his own series cannot be in the same timeline. Jessica Jones is in the same timeline as Daredevil, according to the showrunners, right?
Yeah.
Luke Cage cannot have all those his bad guys be if you don't see. I mean, he basically lives and works next to Jessica Jones anyway, like really close by. So I think what we're going to see is that his own show is a little bit in his past because he's now he's always about I don't want any drama. I'm just trying to stay away. I don't want anyone to know. Like that's all he's been talking about. Like I don't want no drama. I don't want drama. I don't want no drama. So my own thing is at some point in the longevity of these two characters, will they just now have a joint show?
Ooh.
I mean,
Remember the plan was one season each, and then a Defenders movie, and then maybe go from there.
so okay, so that's the case. So that's something we might see.
Daredevil's popularity kind of changed that.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be 2 seasons each. I think we will have a Defenders movie anyway, but that Defenders movie will be a Netflix movie.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll just have continuous seasons. And then maybe if it overlaps right, they might copy some things from the way Arrow and Flash do, where instead of them having the 2 shows crossover episodes, they might have them run concurrently at the same time. Maybe 2 of them, maybe Jessica and this, or maybe Punisher and Daredevil, something like that.
Let me see, May, June, July, August, September, October, November. It's 7 months apart. So they could build it up to where every 3 months there's a new show.
Yeah, exactly.
They're building up the character bases. I mean, Punisher's going to spin out to get his own series.
Oh yeah, I mean that I think that's the thing they're gonna do. So I think you see that spacing where it's either crossover or they will cross over within each show, and then it just you see another crossover event continue 3 months later with everyone else's show. So it's just gonna be like crossover throughout the whole year, and then you're gonna have a Marvel show continue throughout the whole year on Netflix.
And that would be great.
Yeah, so that would be a good point. Three Burrows says he hasn't seen Daredevil yet. So
yeah, you probably see him in the last episode.
Yeah, either the last episode you see Matt Murdock or something like that. Maybe she might be looking for a new lawyer.
Yeah, because Daredevil doesn't show up. It's Matt Murdock.
Oh, I have to tell you though that man, Carrie Ann Moss was looking pretty nice. Let me just say it. I love Carrie Ann Moss. She was looking pretty nice, and she's a little player, from the get-go. She has a girlfriend at work, and she got a wife at home. and when the wife found out, she was just like, how most people would be like, "Oh, my wife," like the woman who cheated on her husband with was in Luke Cage. She ran home, right? She's like, "Oh my God, my husband will find out." Carrie Ann Moss is like, took a drink of her water. That's how I knew like, this woman is hardcore. You don't want to mess with her. But yeah, it was good to see. For me, it was good to see Carrie Ann Moss in it because I haven't seen her in a while. It's been a long time we've seen her in anything, and it's a different type of role for her. But it was good to see her in there. But so far, I like the show, man. I like the structure. And they made it a little different from Daredevil. It's still, you can still see the same vibe from the same world, but it's different.
One of my friends who I was speaking with earlier, he said the show is darker than Daredevil as far as tone.
No, not really. I mean, here's the thing. I think just because of the suggestive nature and the thing, the girl shooting her parents at the very beginning, right? That makes it feel darker. But then when you look at Daredevil, and the way Kingpin, like you have to go back and think of the way Kingpin ran things. he was darker than Kilgrave. I mean, it may get worse. I don't know how it is. I've only 4 episodes, but Kilgrave is a mutant that has powers. He's just spoiling it, right? He's doing whatever he wants. You could see him sit. Oh, you haven't got the episode yet, so don't worry. But he uses powers. Meanwhile, Kingpin is a human being, and he inflicted fear and pain as a human being. So to me, that's even worse. Which is why, like, the worst to me, the best villains, my 2 best villains, are Lex Luthor and the Joker, and they're both humans. The Joker is the madness you do not know how to contain. Lex is the smart that will always keep working to beat you. Those are the 2. Like, those are the best villains because they will always push the limits. Anyone with superpowers will always rely on the power more than anything else. So that's why I said, like, for me personally, I think, but we'll see how Kilgrave goes to the very end. Maybe he does something really nutty. Who knows? 3B tomorrow says, I'm not a boy. I'm sorry. Apologize. And asks, do we like Supergirl? I'm okay. I'm appreciating it more. I like Lou Rod says, I wish they stopped babying her. They need to stop. I mean, she's powerful. She can handle it. How about you? Are you liking the show now, Supergirl?
It has 1 more episode to keep me hooked. I said I'd give it 5, and depending what they do next week, if they even show
6.
one,
we have to give it 6. I say 6 because that throw in the loop that they did with the switch throws things a little off. Because remember, you're watching 4 next week, episode 4, and then you're going to watch episode 7 technically. Which is like a
God, so. They really screwed this up.
Yeah, so
I think I'll give it till it goes on its winter break.
Like, yeah, so there we go.
I mean, it's not a bad show, and since like Heroes is off the air now, next week we really don't have nothing but The Walking Dead.
Yeah. Oh, I'm going to say next week there won't be a show. I was going to say at the end, but there won't be a show. I'm traveling for Thanksgiving. I know this Thanksgiving. You're going to have Thanksgiving plus Black Friday is Friday, even though I'm not doing anything on Black Friday. I'm just going to be chilling and relaxing with family too. Yeah. So 3 Bow Wow says, my mom says it's too boring, so I don't watch it. You should try it out. Check it out. You might like it. You might like the show. And then Stocks Live says, why do I have so much headphones? I was wondering. Not saying it's a bad thing. I like headphones. I'm just joking. No, I mean, that's my wall of headphones. Those are the headphones I think I like the best. I put up there. So that's that. Any more thoughts on Jessica Jones so far?
Nope. Got to finish watching it.
Okay. All right. I like it so far. If you can get a chance to watch it, I suggest you watch it. I know people who finished it who said it's great. So
I like what Netflix is doing with the tone of these shows.
Yeah.
It's definitely totally different from network television.
Yeah. I mean, definitely is. I definitely agree. I think it strikes a different balance. The one thing that I'm concerned, and it has nothing to do with the show. Okay, this is me, right? And this is how I am. Maybe because I watch more anime. I like anime. I prefer Netflix TV shows over every single Marvel movie. I said it. I'll tell you why. I'm not a big fan of the light tone, especially when it becomes too light, like the last Avengers movie and things like that.
Well, the last Avengers movie was all over the place.
They are fun. Don't get me wrong. I didn't say it was bad. All I say that I actually prefer Daredevil, so far Jessica Jones, that kind of tone in comparison to so I'm sure you go. I already prefer the DC universe the way it is, even though people like Superman shouldn't crack people's necks. Which we should have talked about quickly was Mark Miller came out with his statement about Superman, Man of Steel, and he said the way he coined it, I'm paraphrasing here, is that Superman went out and cracked and murdered General Zord. And I was like, wait a minute, he didn't murder the dude. The dude was trying to kill everybody.
I didn't find a problem with that particular scene.
That's like,
I mean, this is a person who is coming into his powers, doesn't know better, and in that situation, it's kill or be killed.
I mean, I've gone through this argument. I mean, I'm sure you've seen this with Juan all the time. And, Juan is like, oh, there should have been a better way to solve the problem. My own thing is
there wasn't.
There was no better way, because this is not the comic book world where he knocks him out. There was no prison you could build to put him in there unless you somehow were able to reactivate the Phantom Zone. And he already used that to take care of half of Zod's guys. Mind you, Zod came with a crew of like 30 Kryptonians, right? So the Phantom Zone took care of 29.
Like I said, I never had the issue with the fact that he killed the man. It was a scenario. Zod put it to him: either you join me or I'm going to kill you.
Yeah, it's one of those two. So I definitely agree with that. I think for me, it's one of those things where you have to look at it in that perspective. But we'll see how things follow up with Batman v Superman.
With the other one, it's like, do you bleed? Okay, really, you can't make me bleed because no mere human can hurt me. But hey, you're gonna entertain me.
I mean, true, but at least they set the precedent that he can bleed in the first movie. When he threw up on the ship because of the atmosphere and all that. So at least they've sewed it in people's minds that, okay, it is possible.
Well, if anybody could get that kind of technology, it's Batman.
Of course, I mean, that's the only person who is crazy enough to do all that kind of work.
Yep.
But yeah, it would be interesting to see how that turns out. I was gonna say something I was gonna add to that. Oh yes. Wonder Woman.
The pictures?
Yeah, pictures of Chris Pine as Steve Trevor, but with a dated costume. He's playing his great-grandfather and he's playing his younger self.
Yeah, I read that.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's interesting. It makes it easy. But the other actor is playing a superhero, and most people are suggesting he's playing the first Blue Beetle from way back when.
Don't know, because they're not saying who he's playing.
Yeah, which would be interesting. It'd be nice. Again, it looks like they're adding little elements and throwing things in there. But anyway, guys, gonna have to cut this show short. Thank you very much for watching. Have just a few comments here. Let's see. Stark Live says, do I have any Bear Dynamics headphones? These are Bear Dynamics headphones, T90s. Then he also says, I like the show. Thank you very much. If my name was Tony, I would have the same name. Oh, Stark Live. That's what he says. And Three Boris says, I like DC more than Marvel. And Stark Live says, Batman is the greatest. All right, cool. There it is. I mean, we could state our obvious greatest, but we'll save that for another episode. Episode 7 will return after Thanksgiving because, of course, there are fewer shows that will be available, but I'm sure there'll be a lot of news, and we can maybe even dedicate that to be a Star Wars episode. Star Wars.
Ooh.
Yeah. Might as well do that. Do some recap, put some theories out there, prove you wrong.
Okay.
About Finn dying.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Hey, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but
yeah.
Leather jackets don't lie.
Okay, whatever. It could be. Remember, that leather jacket's not his. That's a leather jacket that he got from who? Poe.
Poe Dameron ain't wearing leather no more. Poe's busy being in the orange suit.
Yeah, but it could be one of Poe's guys. Like they always let all the flyboys wear leather jackets, man.
I'm sorry, unless Daisy cries for anybody.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I'm sure it is. We'll probably set one up.
The tech show will be tomorrow, buddy.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, thank you. Stark Live. This tech show is tomorrow. Tomorrow at 12 noon. Join us here. Thank you very much, Lou, as always. If you want to check out and follow Lou, it is Mr_Rod_ on Twitter. And of course, it's Booredatwork on YouTube, Twitter, everywhere else. Do like, subscribe, share. And we also have 2 giveaways. We have the Plantronics holiday giveaway, which should be ending pretty soon. So go in and sign up. I'll put the links in this video. And also, we have the big Android giveaway I'm doing with 6 other YouTubers. We're giving away 10 prizes. So, and this is international. Doesn't matter where you live. We will send the devices to you. So enter, win some stuff. I'm going to have more giveaways for you guys pretty soon. So it's a holiday period. It's giveaway time. You know, it's the way it is. So anyway, thank you very much and enjoy your entertainment.